Hi there, welcome back. I have a question that I'm going to read to you, and that's going to be our topic for today's video. Hi, Tracy. First, I want to say that I so appreciate the content that you share. Thank you for sharing your gifts. I, like you, am a big believer in systems. One I would like to improve on is increasing my daily water intake. I was wondering if you can show us in your evening routine how many bottles of water you prep for the next day and where are you storing them? I feel like I would be better at increasing my water intake if I prepped the day before, like I do in other areas of my life. Right now, I wait until morning to fill one water bottle, but then refill the same one during the day. And sometimes when it gets busy, I feel like I'm not reaching for it as much. Thank you so much. Well, thank you to the person who submitted the question and also the nice compliments about my content and how much she is benefiting from them. So yes, I have a system. Imagine that. I do have a system, and I do want to take you along. Water can be a real struggle for many people. I get that. Do I feel there are ways around that? Are there, just like everything, you can simplify things. A lot of times we don't take that opportunity and therefore we don't get the job done. So there's work that takes place up front. And that's where a system that is solid comes to play. Like this person shared, waiting until morning isn't setting her up for success. She also shared that she is a systems person. And she shared that she's not setting up her water system like she does the other systems. So it sounds to me, and if I were coaching her, we would talk about this. So you have a lot of systems put in place that are serving you, that work for you. The water intake is not happening, but you're also sharing you don't have a system. So it does go back to it's applying the same principle. Often people get too much in their head and they think they need to create something new. Simplify it. Whatever you're doing over here that's working, you just apply the same concepts. And it doesn't mean that you need to fill your water bottles at the end of the day. In fact, that is not how I do it. As you know, if you've been following me, I have a personal assistant that right now, it moves around a little bit because I am like her last, she works for several families. Doing what she does for me, and sometimes running errands, picking kids up, it's whatever they need her to do. She doesn't have kid responsibility with me, she just takes care of me. And when I was in the process of outsourcing, I originally thought I needed to outsource someone to help with the businesses more, above and beyond what I do and my business manager, Haley. With what I do, most of what you see has to be Tracy. No one else can do it. So it's really difficult for me to bring on more people to work in the business because everything that's taking up my time requires me. No one else can do it. No one else can coach my clients. No one else can really address comments on YouTube. No one else can film my YouTube videos. No one else can really create my content to film. I'm required to do my newsletters, right? I may be able to get help in those areas, but with what I do, I'm required to be the person. So how do I gain time when I really don't get more time? My personal assistant does all my little things. They're very small and minuscule little things, but they free up my time. So filling water bottles takes time because I fill 8 per day, and we're going to go walk through that. I'm going to walk you through because my water bottles were just filled yesterday. So my personal assistant spends a chunk of time filling all of my water bottles. When she worked for me more frequently, she was here more to fill them. Because now she's pretty much once per week, she has to fill a lot of water bottles for me to have 8 bottles per day, right? That's a lot, but that frees up my time. So there is a system, and I'm going to share with you as well. We do also always have bottled water on hand. I know some people get really tripped up by that, but you have to do you. And I'm in a season right now that my life being easier is high priority. And whatever I need to do to make that happen, I'm going to do regardless if someone else takes offense to the bottled water. It's just going to happen. So I drink from glass water bottles that are filled with our house water. They're from the water that you get out of the refrigerator. I drink those glass bottles, but if I run out and I don't have time on my time block today, I don't have time to fill water bottles. Just a minute. Okay, if I don't have time to fill water bottles, no worries. The time blocking masterclass will be on the replay tab. You will be able to purchase that. I'm going, and all the glass ones are gone, and I'm waiting for my personal assistant for her to come back on Monday and fill. I may resource my plastic, the water bottles that we buy by the case. It's going to happen. And I get not everyone is in that season, or maybe you somehow make it work. We have to pick and choose where we put our time. So there is a system, but I always have, because failing to plan is planning to fail. So even in my workout area, there's bottled water in case I run out or I forget to bring a glass one down. Under my bathroom sink in my bathroom, there's bottled water in case I'm in a pinch. If Paul gets up in the middle of the night and he needs a bottle of water, he can get one right from underneath my sink. The other thing is I drink room temperature water. I don't drink cold water. Even at a restaurant, often I will ask for my water with no ice. If they bring it with ice, I would never send it back. It's not that I can't drink it. I just prefer room temperature. I also find that because it's room temperature, it's easier to drink more because it's not so cold. And I kind of have a system, but I've been drinking 8 bottles per day, which equal maybe a little over a gallon because I think they're 16-ounce bottles. This is not a struggle for me, but you have to understand I have probably 15 years of drinking this much water. It is just normal for me. Water is really my source of beverage all day long. So unless I'm going out and getting a glass of wine or a cocktail. And I may have one, what's the drink that I like? Fresca, which is like a sparkling grapefruit. I may have one of those per day. So here's my tip though, and I shared this in 3-week intense, and I'll probably share it in quarter 4 3-week intense, which you can get registered for that too. Have your water bottles ready to go for each day and then set them out. So for me, if I need my 8 bottles, I set them out. So they're all filled and stored in a cabinet, in a closet. But I set myself up for success by setting out my water bottles for that day. So I may do that in my evening routine, set out my water bottles for tomorrow, and I just make sure there's 8. One is going to go in my bathroom because I drink that upon awakening. The second one is going to go in the basement with me because I'm going to drink that during my workout. So by the time 6 a.m. rolls around and I've completed my workout, I've already drank 2 glass water bottles of 16 ounces. I've already got two gone for the day, right? And then if you struggle, then depending on how many hours you're awake per day, my wake window is about 16 hours, maybe set a timer or a reminder for every 2 hours to go off. And if you haven't completed a bottle, you have to go finish it. Okay, then you reset it for another 2 hours and sip on that water bottle. And if after the 2 hours comes around, you haven't finished it, then you go finish it. And that will get you to drink your water. And then the other concern many people have is getting up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. There's a good chance you may already, if you're older, be getting up going to the bathroom, and it just comes with age. If you find that you have what's the opportunity? If you find you have a problem, then you drink your water earlier in the day. I drink a full bottle a lot of times upon going to bed. I want to drink because I'm going several hours. I'm going 8 hours with no water. So I like to have one upon awakening and a full bottle upon going to bed. And it works for me. Do I get up in the middle of the night? Typically one time, but I know even the times that I go to bed and maybe haven't had enough fluids that day, I'm still going to get up in the middle of the night. So thank you to the person who reached out, and that's the system, and I hope I can help you to optimize your water system, whatever that looks like for you.